Hello again, this is PC Delta Link, back with our Enigmatica 2 Normal Mode Let's Play. This is episode 16. And we have a lot to do this episode, and next episode. I had mentioned a while back that we were going to start working toward getting a proper farm setup. That time has now come upon us. We need it both for just a more steady food source, and more importantly, we need it for Botania Mana generation. I had mentioned that we were going to be moving on from Endoflames to something more powerful, and that will be happening in the next couple episodes, but I need a strong farm setup in order to get this next flower. So we have a few things we're going to start with, including a couple new machines we're going to build real quick. And our first one that we're going to make is this fluid transposer, which I need for mossy cobblestone. It's for a cosmetic thing later, but I'm going to show you how to make this now anyway. So this is very simple. Just 2 glass, a bucket. Copper gears is just 4 copper ingots in this shape. This reception coil, which is a pretty common intermediate crafting ingredient, is just 2 redstone and a gold, so it's also really cheap. This is the only complex thing here, the machine frame, which even this isn't too bad. It's 4 iron, any glass, and then the tin gear, which is the same as the copper gear, just with tin instead. And so yeah, we have another machine frame I made over here. And this is going to be used for another block we're making. This is with 2 Invar and the reception coil, copper gear again. This is the igneous extruder. And why we're making this is a little demonstration I have out here. So most of you probably know that when lava and water meet, you have an infinite supply of cobblestone, which you can slowly just mine it up and have all the cobblestone you want. What this machine does is when supplied with its materials it needs, and I'm just going to plonk the fluid transposer right there for now. I have the igneous extruder here. Okay, we're going to switch this over to smooth stone. We're going to configure this to input from the bottom. Oh, it already was. Yeah, so it's already taking water from the line we have down here. It's got power. So now we just need to take our bucket and right-click it, and you'll see it turns on. And it makes smooth stone. And it will do this forever, as long as it has this. Because making stone or cobblestone, either one, does not use up lava, this operation will continue forever. And I could, if I wanted to, pipe these materials out of here, but at the moment I don't need to. The fluid transposer we're using to make mossy cobblestone. This just needs an input from the water line, which I just clicked until it got that, and you can see it fills with water. And now I just drop my cobblestone in here, and it will turn it into mossy cobblestone, which we'll need that in an episode or 2. Next thing we're going to do is we had this hammer, and we're going to finally make it unbreakable. We have our reinforcement here. So 8 obsidian, any cast, so we just use a blank cast, which is aluminum brass. And get our final reinforcement, go to our modifying table, and throw it in here, and now it is unbreakable. So this now has infinite durability, and I already have this excavator to the same thing. Reason being, as you noticed, we are digging out this hill. Our farms are going to be in here. So we will be digging out this hill to have all the room we could possibly need for that. And you can see I love hammers. They are absolutely amazing. Next thing we are doing real quick is I had said a while ago I was going to show you alumite's special property. So we are now going to make a pickaxe imbued with alumite. We're going to make it into a tool rod from 1 ingot. I'm going to show you why this is such an amazing ability when it's put onto a tool. So we're going to make a new pickaxe. We have a copper binding, a cobalt head, and our alumite tool rod. So it's a simple pickaxe, but it'll be able to mine anything, and the copper will get us more experience faster. Global Traveler is our key here. What Global Traveler does is I take the pickaxe, and I shift right-click this chest here. And you see it in the bottom left, it says Linked Inventory. So now, if I go to mine something, say this cobblestone, you'll notice 6434. That's not going into my inventory. I'm still at 6434 there. It goes to the chest. So whatever you mine, when you bind that pickaxe to an inventory, whatever you mine with it, doesn't matter what it is, whatever you mine with it will go to that spot. It will not go anywhere else. So yeah, it's a really, really handy ability. And eventually I'll have Fortune 3 on this, and how that works is you simply put Fortune 3 on this pickaxe, and then whenever you run into ore underground, you just mine it with this, and it teleports the ore back to your base, so your inventory doesn't fill up and you can stay down and mine longer. Pretty simple and really handy. So in between episodes, we'll focus on getting this up to Fortune 3, and we'll upgrade its experience and eventually get to be unbreakable and all that good stuff. Alright, next thing we need for our farm is we need some bone blocks. We need a ton of bone meal, and bone blocks is the best way to get that, so we're going to head to the Nether real quick. So I'll be back shortly when we get to the Nether. Okay, we're back. We got a couple bone blocks right here, but we need several of these. You remember our Cirrus amulet we made last episode lets us double jump, which is, as you can see, really handy. Yeah, we take a little fall damage sometimes, but who cares? But it just lets us move so fast. And I see a lot of bone blocks right there. Ow. This should be more than enough right here. Oh, looks like we got some company, and not the kind I wanted either. It should be noted, too, with the Global Traveler ability on pickaxes, if you happen to put it into a sword, whatever you put it in, it works for that tool. Oh, that sounded awful close. Yeah, he's right there. I almost feel bad for killing them. They sound so innocent. Okay, that is probably more than enough right there. 64. We have massive overkill on this. Okay, that's fine. Just means we won't have to get any of this later. So I'm going to head back to the base, and I will see you guys in a minute again. Okay, we're back. And as for what we're going to be using for farming, we are going to be using farmers from Actually Editions. We're going to be using a couple of them. And their recipe looks kind of interesting first. It's this Inori crystal block and then an iron casing. An iron casing is simply made from 4 iron, 4 sticks, and a piece of black quartz. The Inori crystal blocks are a little bit more complicated. And where I got this first part, I actually got it from a quest reward a very long time ago. But to make this, we're going to need some blocks of iron. We need 4. So, Inori crystal blocks are made from Inori crystals, which are made from the Atomic Reconstructor, which is an iron ingot with the laser beam thing from the Atomic Reconstructor, makes the Inori crystals. Now, the benefit to this is you can actually just take the block of material like I've got in my hand here and hit the laser. And this should all be a Nori crystal, and it is. So there we go. And we've got it right here, so we'll just plonk those 4 right there in the iron casing, and there's our second farmer, which we need. Oh, and I'm supposed to have this going. Let that be right in the meantime. Alright, the next thing we're going to need is a way to transfer items out of it. Now, normally, I would use item conduits from Ender.io. I really like them. They look cool. But the problem is, we do not have the ability to make these in mass right now. The conduit binder is not an issue. The thing that's an issue is this pulsating iron. Because that is made from pulsating iron, which requires, here we go, an ender pearl. And iron ingots. We do not have many ender pearls. I think I have 1 currently. No, I have 2. But point being, that really does not make any of those. And I need to save these in case they're needed for a more important crafting. I've been outside a few times at night. I'm going to adjust the volume on that music real quick. I feel like that might be too loud. I've been outside a few times at night, and I have not had any luck finding Endermen, and the ones I have found have not been dropping their Ender Pearls for me. So yeah, we can't really do that for right now. But there's another method we can use. And it's from Extra Utilities 2, and it's these transfer pipes. And this recipe is really cheap, actually. It's 6 stone slabs, 2 glass, and a piece of redstone. Stone slabs are just from 3 cooked stone in a crafting table, like so. And you get 64 of this, which is absolutely amazing. That's a very cheap and efficient recipe. And then we're going to need this. We're actually going to need more than 1 of these, so at some point. But for right now, we're just going to make the 1. Oh, we get 4. Okay. So yeah, that's just 2 redstone, 2 cookstone, a treasure chest, and a transfer pipe. Gets you transfer node items, which we'll be using those to pull items out of the farmer as it farms our items. The last thing we need is a couple more drawers for the moment. And I don't have any chests on me, which I do have some. They're just stashed nearby. Here we go. We're going to need 4 of these in total. So actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then the reason we needed so many bone blocks is we're going to be using, is it fertile soil? Yes, fertile soil from Rustic, which makes crops grow faster, which we want. And it's just made with a piece of dirt and bone meal, which we get all the bone meal in the world from this. We get 9 per bone block, which is a crap ton of bone meal. So we'll just need a few of these. Probably a little bit more, because we have a lot of blocks we're going to need for this. There we go. I have enough dirt for both these farms here. Did I accidentally make exactly the number I needed? I did. Oh my word. So these farmers actually harvest in a 9x9 area in front of them. That's one of the things I like about them is, yeah, you can't configure their size, but they cover a really big area. And I'm actually going to have to clear this, the rest of the space out real quick, because this is where we're going to have them, is kind of where I have these torches lined up. So I'm going to dig this out, and I will be back shortly. So give me just a few minutes. This won't take long with the hammer and the excavator and whatnot, so as you can see, I'll have that done shortly. So be back in a few. Okay, we are back again. As you can see, we've dug out the area over this farm, and again, these farmers cover a 9x9 block radius. You can't adjust it, you can't change it, so that's why we have 2 farm sets. We're going to have 1 wheat farm and 1 potato farm. So we've got some, I'll show you my setup here, but I have some power lines running from there over to here. And I just dug this tunnel under the ground right here, a couple blocks deep. And I just had the power linked from up toward our base, and it just snakes all the way underground over here to where the two farms are. And this can be expanded later. And I'll have like a proper entrance. Right now I just literally dug out of the floor to get out of it. But that can be finessed later on. For right now it's functional, and that's all that really matters. So this thing, to place it, you face the direction... You face the opposite direction you want it to go. So the black box on the front of it, that's where it's actually going to face when it farms. And you can see it's full of energy. And to get started, you just take some seeds and you put them in the left-hand side. It's a little strange on its planting pattern. It should be going left to right from the other direction. I'm not quite sure what's up with that, but I suppose it really doesn't matter. Maybe it's depending on the compass direction. I honestly don't know. But as you can see, we have our wheat farm now planted. And it's down to 21 seeds left, but it'll eventually get a surplus of seeds over time. It will get more than it loses. So, as you can see, our crops are already starting to grow here. Because this fertile soil that they're sitting on, it does make things grow faster. So, in the meantime, we're going to set up our potato farm. And we don't have as many of these, but we got them from the village. We're just going to throw them over here. And this will, just like the wheat farm, this will eventually increase its area over time. As it plants and harvests more potatoes, it'll plant in the spaces that are currently unoccupied. So you just got to be patient on that. So next thing is I'm going to show you how these transfer nodes work. In order to do that, I'm actually going to grab one of the wheat that's in here so you can kind of get an idea. There we go. Okay. So these transfer nodes are pretty simple, so just shift right click to put it on the actual side of the farmer. Right here, that way you don't actually open the farmer. And then all we need next is our two drawers, and we're going to put one there and one on top, just like that. The one on the bottom is going to be for wheat. So I'm going to throw one in there to kind of mark that one already. And then you just connect your two transfer pipes, just like that. Now, the reason we need a second one here is because occasionally this will get extra seeds. Not always, but it will get them eventually. And when it does, they need somewhere to go. So for now, we're going to put them in this drawer. And over time, as this thing harvests wheat, the wheat will go into this drawer as well. And we're going to do the exact same thing with this one. Just going to have our two transfer pipes and two drawers. Now, the reason we need two drawers here is one of these will be for poisonous potatoes. And actually, I'm going to take one potato back, because just like the other one, I need to mark the drawer which one I want potatoes to go in. Poisonous ones will go in the upper drawer, regular potatoes will go in the normal drawer. Poisonous potatoes are, for the most part, useless. I never use them for anything, but they can be harvested, so we do have to have a spot for them to go. So, yeah, these things just run off a little bit of power, really not much. At the moment, I have them just directly hooked into the windmill line coming down here, but later on we will finesse this. And we're going to be, see, you can just see it just from the windmills, it just goes straight down to that underground passage. So we will finesse this in time, but for right now, it's functional. And again, it works. Now, there are a couple things we can do to improve this and make things grow even faster than they already were. So to do that, I'm going to need something a little bit closer to here that I'm going to need real quick. I'm going to need an infinite water source close by. And for those who don't know, the quickest way to get an infinite water source is just dig a 2x2 pond like that. And then we'd put the bucket of water over there, put one in the opposite corner, and now it's an infinite water source. And there you go. You can also do a 3x1, and it'll get you the same thing, but I prefer the 2x2 pattern. What we're going to make are known as sprinklers. So we're going to need some of our bone blocks. And I believe we need some iron as well. Some iron bars specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of these. Probably 2 of these. Well, 32. So let me look up sprinkler. Yeah, there it is. It's this one right here from Cyclic. So yeah, a bucket of water and then the 3 bone blocks. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and just click this in here. Does this use the bucket? It does not. Okay, then I have an idea. We're going to take this table with us. And we're going to come out here right next to our infinite water source. Place our crafting grid. Get our bucket. And then we'll just keep clicking this in. And see, this is all we have to do. Now I'm going to want a few of these per one to start with. Eventually we'll have these pretty much all around it. But for starters, this should be enough. So maybe 4 for each one wouldn't be a bad start if I could get that. I think we can do that. Toward the corners, probably. And yeah, what these sprinklers do is they simply make crops grow faster. Which, what more do you need in life? So we'll make 1 more for right now. And we're going to need the bucket of water because these have to be placed over a water source. So for right now, we're going to put 1 here. And probably 1 here. They may overlap a little bit, but that's fine if they do. We'll go ahead and get a block of dirt. Now you have to place the sprinkler on top of the water, which if you just look down and right-click it, it's going to put it in the water and destroy the water block. So we're just going to do this. And you'll see the sprinklers turning, and there it spritz out a little bit of water. And that will actually increase your crop growth over time. So get our next thing of water, do that again. And I need that piece of dirt again. And just plop the next sprinkler down. And yeah, eventually we can have this around all sides of this. But for right now, this will be fine. Oh, and you heard that sound? It just harvested our first wheat from that. Is it right here? Yeah, it's right here. Get our next sprinkler there. Get our next bit of water. And as far as I am aware, these sprinklers stack. So if I wanted to, I think in theory, I could have them around the entire perimeter, like on every single block if I wanted to. But I just think that's also massive overkill and not needed. And you can see already on this left side, because they've been here a little bit longer, just how much crop growth these things add on to this. It's amazing how quickly they can spurt this along. So we're going to go ahead and get our potato farm with also getting some sprinklers. This one doesn't need 4 for right now, because I don't even have the whole farm covered. But it does need at least 2 for right now. So we'll just put that there. There we go. Put this other one here. And yeah, for right now, the 2 over here is all we need. But this gives you an idea of just how quick this goes. And you can already hear that this is harvesting semi-frequently now. So how this thing works is, you probably notice it's scanning just down the line, and as it goes down the row, it picks whatever's ripe to be grown. And then it replants them as well. I'm gonna get some torches in here, because we don't want stuff to spawn on this. We will eventually, right now it's fine, but we'll eventually have a glowstone block above the dead center of the farm, and that's for a reason that we will get to later. But it's enough to know right now, eventually the very center block will be glowstone, and so that'll keep the light level high enough for the whole farm. But as you can see, already we got 41 wheat stored. No extra seeds yet, but here's the thing. For right now, you notice we had 21 seeds earlier. We're up to 46 here now. The seeds will fill up all of these 6 blocks on the left first. The 6 blocks on the right are the what it harvests, what the farm produces. So, yeah, we're getting low on time for this episode, but you've now been able to see we have a farm. 2 farms, actually. And we are slowly gaining infinite wheat and infinite potatoes. I can see how we're doing over here. Oh yeah, we aren't going to have any for a long time because, in theory, every one this thing harvests should be replanted. Yes, they're on the left-hand side, and it should instantly replant them. It'll slowly keep filling up the line. See, it just planted 2 more over there. So yeah, until this fills up with all 81 spots, it's not going to really put any potatoes in here. Except maybe poisonous. If it gets a poisonous one, it should throw it over there. But yeah, I hope you liked this little simple farm setup. And next episode, we're going to keep working on... Yeah, see, it just planted some more. We're going to keep working toward our higher level mana generation in Botania. Because these 2 farms are going to lead us to infinite mana generation. And you can see, actually... We've now got enough potatoes over here. We didn't a minute ago, but we now have enough potatoes over here that we do need a sprinkler over here. 2 of them, actually. So I'll set that up between episodes. I'll get the next 2 sets of sprinklers over here. But I think that's going to about do it. We're about out of time for this one, so I will see you guys next time. And hope you all have a good day.